Hi, I'm Kara Martin and I have the protein myoglobin. I chose this scientific article. It's titled Myoglobin, an Essential Hemoprotein in Striated Muscle. The authors are George A. Ordway and Daniel J. Gary. This research was done at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, Dallas, Texas, within the departments of physiology, internal medicine, and molecular biology. I chose this article because it has a lot of information useful for my protein paper. First off, it starts with a summary of myoglobin. It talks about myoglobin being a cytoplasmic hemoprotein expressed solely in cardiac myocytes and oxidative skeletal muscle fibers that reversibly binds O2 by its heme residue. It also talks about myoglobin structure that was discovered over 40 years ago and has been one of the most studied and researched proteins. Some recent findings provided additional functions for the protein, such as scavenging nitric oxide and reactive O2 species. The scientific article also describes the structural components of myoglobin, that it consists of a single polypeptide chain of 154 amino acids. The backbone is a polypeptide chain that consists of 8 alpha helices, has an iron ion complex that interacts with 6 ligands. Some functional roles talks about the function of myoglobin. The oxygen storage in muscle, it buffers intracellular PO2 in a number of species. It facilitates O2 diffusion, and it also talks about that it was the first protein in which a 3-dimensional structure was determined. It also talks about the genetic regulation and patterns. Talks about how most young animals have nearly half of the myoglobin that the adult animals have, although genetics plays an important role. Physical activity, temperature, and O2 availability plays at least an equally important role in determining the myoglobin levels. This article also mentions it's nice to have, but is it necessary? So they did research on mice genetically engineered to not have myoglobin, which resulted in cardio deficiencies, in which later the mice actually adapted and showed no problem surviving. So this article has a lot of good information about myoglobin. It talks about, the structural components, the functions, the genetic regulation of patterns, and some research that has recently been done on it. So I think it's a really good article.